President Trump continues to rage at Colorado on a nearly daily basis. He's promised to punish the state over his election rigging conspiracy theories.
This week, he vetoed funding for a clean drinking water project in southern Colorado, and today lashed out once again online. Kyle Clark is here with more on that.
Yeah, so Georgia on My Mind is the famous song. If there was a Colorado version, President Trump would have that stuck on repeat in his head. This New Year's Eve, as Americans' thoughts turn to friendships and family in the year ahead, Trump is railing against leaders in Colorado, telling them to, quote, rot in hell.
President Trump promised, quote-unquote, harsh measures to punish Colorado if the state didn't free his friend Tina Peters. She's serving time for a scheme to tamper with voting systems. Trump is relocating Space Command out of Colorado, citing his false claim that mail-in elections like Colorado's are rigged. He's dismantling the NCAR Weather and Climate Lab in Boulder, denying disaster aid for Colorado's wildfires and floods, and vetoing Congress's unanimous bill to fund the Arkansas Valley Pipeline. It would bring clean drinking water to towns on the Eastern Plains. When the retaliation reached Republican Congressman Lauren Boebert's district, even she took issue with it.
We're talking about Southeast Colorado, who's overwhelmingly voted for President Trump in the last 3 elections. And these are not the people that should be attacked.
On New Year's Eve day, Trump raged into the online abyss again, falsely claiming that Peters is in prison for trying to stop voter fraud, and attacking Democratic Governor Polis, as well as the Republican prosecutor on Peters' case, writing, "I wish them only the worst. May they rot in hell. Free Tina Peters."
So that prosecutor, DA Dan Rubenstein, reminded me today that there's an old saying in the law that if the facts are on your side, pound the facts. If the law is on your side, pound the law. If neither's on your side, pound the table. DA Rubenstein told me, quote, President Trump has no facts or no law here, and after trying and failing to invent both, he's left with nothing but pounding the table. I mean, there's that, and then there's also all of his other powers as president to try and find ways to punish Colorado.
And you said he repeated today that the election is rigged, especially here in Colorado, and that puts Republicans here in a really tight spot.
It's a brutal spot for them, right? Because either they break with the president and they say, no, that is a fantasy, elections are not rigged, you have to come out and vote because elections are valid, or they buy into the election rigging fantasy, and Colorado voters have already shown that they are not interested in doing that. And then you'll have Republicans who try to split the difference. The last candidate for governor on the Republican ticket here tried to publicly say elections are fine, and then privately she said, oh, we really know there's something funny with those elections. She took a 20-point L. So voters, they saw right through it, they were not buying it. He puts the GOP here in a really tough spot.
So you think like Gabe Evans, somebody like that, those districts, that's a horrible spot to be put in.
It's a difficult spot, and right now you have some Republicans like Lauren Boebert who are pushing back on Trump.
Yeah.
You have others who are fiercely loyal to him, and then you have some like Gabe Evans who are just kind of hard to find. Gabe's got his head down, you know. He's got a tough year ahead.
Well, Lauren's not happy either.
No, she's not happy at all, and she's willing to come out and say it at some personal risk to her own political career. But don't forget, a couple of weeks back, she crosswised with Trump when she pushed for the release of the Epstein files, and he apparently got very mad at her about that. When I talked to her yesterday, she couldn't pinpoint whether this is retaliation for the Epstein files, retaliation for the election rigging stuff, or something else entirely.
And I think that begs the question, try to make sense of all this. This is a conversation for another time, but like, what is he doing? What is he trying to do here?
He knows that it animates a certain part of his base, and he has a lot of pressure on him from the right wing of the party to do something about Tina Peters, and it's outside of his power.
Right. All right, Kyle, thank you.